How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I cannot believe what just came out about Blackrock's ETF. I want to talk to you about it, talk about what's happening in the market here today. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification so you can see every single video from here on out in the bull run, just like this one, as soon as they come out. Also, there is a link down there to Margex where you can trade cryptocurrencies. Check it out. There's no KYC, no VPN, very little information they ask for you or from you, and you can get a deposit bonus as well with the link underneath the video. There's also a link down there to Blowfin. They're also doing a campaign where you can get a 15% cashback bonus going towards futures, so you can definitely check those out underneath the video if you want to start trading. And we are able to get different assets on here as well. We got Caspa added, so you can let me know, or you can let them know what you want just by scrolling down here and requesting it. Now, crypto, it's down a little bit here today. Some altcoins still doing pretty well, like Solana up 6%. Now, I will say crypto is doing better than the miners. Miners are getting destroyed today. Keep in mind that they're still up a ton, but CleanSpark down 17.8%, Hive down 17%, Riot down 13%. Over the last couple of days, we have had a huge amount of volume for miners. And now you can see probably some people taking profits going into year end. Also, the miner index in general is up 387%, even with this dip. So the miners have done extremely well, just like any asset. If we see a big run up, an aggressive run up, we can see a bit of a pullback. We also will be getting the information as to who is buying which crypto assets, and specifically stocks. We'll be hearing that very soon. We'll know because they have to give their institutional activity. Last time we saw it was about September 29 or September 30, depending on where you're looking. And we know that a lot of these miners are owned by Blackrock and Vanguard mostly. So we're going to have to see who's buying these stocks, who's buying GBTC, and all that. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out. Of course, this has been kind of a quiet time. This week has been a kind of a quiet time for traditional finance because we are in the holidays. What's not quiet is the amount of money China is injecting into their economy. China's central bank injects record 1.257 trillion yuan in open market operations this week. So what exactly does that mean? That's $177 billion. That's a lot of money. I mean, think about that at an annualized rate. 1 week of this, that's about what, $8 trillion throughout the year if they were going to annualize that. That's a huge amount. And the majority, from what I can tell, is in the 7-day reverse repo, or at least that has a lot to do with it. It's a short-term loan that the central bank gives to banks essentially to increase liquidity. So just basically increasing the money supply, increasing who can get money. Keep in mind, Bitcoin historically is very tied to liquidity. Like if the global liquidity goes up, people have more money, people throw it at Bitcoin. And because Bitcoin is scarce, it can cause the price to go up quite quickly. So that's all very good. This is something that we've talked about. I mean, even just the Fed lowering rates increases liquidity in a significant way. So that is one thing that I've been looking at for the new year. But this is also good to see other countries doing something similar. We also saw a massive amount of Bitcoin moved off centralized exchanges on Wednesday. 1.19 billion. This was the largest single day Bitcoin outflow since December 2022. So the largest in a year happened just a few days ago. And depending on where you look, there's anywhere from 1.8 to 2 million Bitcoin on exchanges. And it continues to go down. I usually look at a different website, CryptoQuant, but they showed just over 2 million Bitcoin on exchanges, but it's about a month delayed. Here on CoinGlass, it shows up till today, it shows 1.8 million Bitcoin on exchanges. So that is really what's available to buy at the moment. So that continues to diminish in supply. Now we'll get to BlackRock in just a second. I just want to bring up my last video. Not too many people watched it, but it came out that AVAX, the Avalanche Foundation, actually intends to use $100 million of their incubator fund to start buying Avalanche-based meme coins. If you want to get my views on that, I'll put that video on the end screen. But I did think that was a huge bit of news here today that's really going under the radar. Now, Blackrock is done. I wasn't being hyperbolic. They are done. They filed their last amendment to their spot Bitcoin ETF application. A lot of other companies are doing the same thing. I wanted to point out something very interesting, though, in this report. They dropped their updated S1, and they named the APs Jane Street and JP Morgan. Now, these are authorized participants. What does that mean exactly? Well, they are entities that have the right to create and redeem shares of an exchange-traded fund. They provide a large portion of liquidity in the ETF market by obtaining the underlying assets required to create the shares of the ETF. So they're going to be the ones buying and selling some of these assets. This is really interesting. It basically just allows whoever's creating the ETF to have more liquidity. But this is so interesting because Jamie Dimon has called Bitcoin a hyped up fraud. He wishes that they could just destroy it. He said that recently to Congress. And yet they're authorized participants of this ETF, the most hyped up ETF probably of all time, at least since the gold ETF. He said that Bitcoin's worse than tulips. They're going to be authorized participants for the biggest Bitcoin ETF out there. That's going to be approved by Gary Gensler and run by the Fed's shadow money manager. Like, this just shows you, and I've said this before, but look at what they're doing, not what they're saying. Right? Jamie Dimon talks crap about Bitcoin all the time, floods you out of it, and he might turn around just like Larry Fink. Once they have enough skin in the game, he becomes bullish. Then he tells every wealthy person that wants to listen to go buy Bitcoin. Right? They're just here to serve their own greed. They're here to serve themselves. And why else would they be an authorized participant? They could say no. They could turn down the business. But yet they are willing to do it because either they're lying to you or they're just here to make money off of you and they don't care really what they have to do it. So I want to bring that to your attention. Just a good reminder. Don't trust the big banks. Don't trust Gary Gensler. Don't trust what anyone really says to you. Look at what they're doing. Look at what they're buying. Look at where they're doing business. So that's it. This is the last day of updates for these ETFs. We should have some kind of decision either next week or the week after. Keep in mind that when gold's ETF got approved, it went on an 8-year bull run. It did not pull back basically for 8 years, and it went from $40 all the way up to a 4x at $160. So it can be explosive once these kinds of ETFs are approved and give access to a lot more people to buy in an asset class. Right? There's a lot going on, a lot to look forward to. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a great weekend. Check out the links to Margex and to Blowfin as well underneath the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.